Hey, you. Yeah, that's right. I'm talking to you. Are you looking for the best way to promote your podcast? It's easy. Just advertise your podcast to your ideal target audience. That's right, listeners of similar podcasts. Podbean has the best and most cost-effective options for you. Just go to the website sponsorship.podbean.com/STR. That's right, your friends here at Scout Team Radio are hooking you up. Go to sponsorship.podbean.com/STR and you will get the best deals to get your podcast rolling. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy Scout Team Radio.
Yeah.
You want to like them, but you can't.
Are you listening?
What?
Are you listening?
Did you bring me on this show to insult me?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all don't want it with us, man. We straight gangsters over here,
Straight
man.
gangsters. Yeah, good morning and welcome back. That is right. You are listening to Scout Team Radio. We bring it to you hot and live each and every morning, Monday through Friday, right here on 12 Ounce Sports Radio. I am one of your favorite hosts. They call me Loudbeard.
You are the most egotistical, self-deluded person I have ever met.
Yeah, that might be true. And your other favorite host, he is a great American. He is a great patriot. You may know him as...
America. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is your boy, Chris America, coming to you live this final day of July, July 31st, which is a Wednesday, which is a wacky Wednesday.
It is a wacky Wednesday, and I think you and we need to step up our game.
Step up our game how?
Well, I was checking out this British daytime television show, and they had a woman marry her dog live on TV yesterday, and I was thinking, man, we need to do more exciting stuff because I don't know if we could ever top this.
Well, which dog would you marry? You have two, and you'd make one jealous. Or would you make one jealous? Which do you think one would care and the other one wouldn't?
They don't know what the hell's going on. They don't care, but they would get jealous. Those ladies are jealous.
So
like if I married one of my dogs on air, the other one would be losing its mind because there's
especially
Wendy.
Wendy's your clingy one.
Yeah,
Wendy's the one that's all up in your face.
Oh yeah, Wendy, the English bulldog that is my good friend and my compatriot here. But I have never married Wendy. Apparently, this woman said she was tired of being burned by men, and she couldn't take it anymore. And she said she's had enough, and she decided the only man in her life that was worth marrying, that would be there for her through thick and thin, was her dog. It was a great moment, Chris America. This is what TV's all about.
Joke's on her because men are dogs.
Yeah, there we go. You're right. But I'm just saying, I wanted to say maybe we step up our game. We've got to come up with some craziness like marrying a dog on TV. But maybe we'll do that some other time. Maybe not today. You mentioned it was July 31st. I do have to say there's a very special birthday out there today, Chris America.
Yeah? Who's that?
Harry Potter.
Remember that time I got the Harry Potter question right at trivia?
Yeah, I was like, wow, you're good at Harry Potter trivia. You're a closet nerd. I knew it. You are.
So is this the first day he was published or the first day the movie came out?
Well, I don't know. It's just trending on Twitter. Happy birthday, Harry Potter. And then I Googled it and verified it says July 31st is Harry Potter's birthday.
Maybe that's his birthday in the book?
I think it is because it said it also is J.K. Rowling's birthday. So I think she made Harry Potter's birthday on her birthday just because she's conceited and that's what she wanted to do.
Now imagine that everybody's wishing your character a happy birthday, but not you.
That's true. Do you think she gets enjoyment out of that? Because, she was pretty secretive and private when Harry Potter first came out. She's a little bit more well-known.
You get enjoyment out of it.
Oh, yeah. If I created a character, like let's say I created a character named Chris Russia, and it became one of the most popular characters in all of the world, especially in Russia and maybe in America also. And all of a sudden, it became Chris Russia's birthday on July 31st, for example. And everybody's tweeting, "Happy birthday, Chris Russia," but nobody says "Happy birthday, Loudbeard." I think I'd be depressed. I'd be sad. Yeah,
Your
now that I
mom
think
calls
about
and
it.
says, like, "Hey, is Chris Rusher around? I want to wish him a happy birthday."
Could be like a Jeff Dunham type character where I made a puppet that was like Chris Russia, and that was like the most popular puppet in the world. So I have to like get my puppet on the phone with my mom, like FaceTime it, and do the voice. That would be bad. Oh, Chris America.
Meanwhile, you're secretly crying. Do you
Yeah,
think
how
a
do we
ventriloquist can
get here?
cry and do a voice at the same time? Would that make them? 'Cause you know how some will gargle water and do the voice? I want to see one cry and do a voice.
I don't know if it's possible. I would like to see it. We challenged the most talented ventriloquist in the world to a crying ventriloquism off. See, that's how we up our
wrong
game on our show.
So many levels.
Okay. All right. Well, let's talk
You
about
realize
something.
that finger puppet sounds okay as a noun?
What about verb?
Mm-mm.
I should not be laughing at that. I'm not 12 years old, but I'm laughing. Finger puppet.
But it's Wacky Wednesday with the Jews.
Scooter
And
and the
Scooter.
Jews. Yeah, there we go. That is what it is all about. So on this Wacky Wednesday, I do need to talk about a fight. Last night was one of the best fights, one of the best scrums I have ever seen in Major League Baseball. And I don't know what it is. Maybe because hockey likes to fight. I love that about the sport. And baseball, I think I got endeared a little bit more to baseball last night, remembering that it seems like it's kind of okay to clear the benches and have a all-out brawl where you're fighting, punching people in the face, fighting people, and I don't know, I kind of like it. I kind of like the whole aspect of baseball with the fighting. I think that needs to be more emphasized in the game today. What do you think? We think we need a little bit more fighting going on?
I mean, I got to hand it to baseball players that there aren't more fights. Each team has 162 games. So you multiply that however many times, and you have thousands of games per season. It's in the summer. It's hot. And my patience is a lot thinner in the heat than any other time of year. And, yeah, I'm just surprised there aren't more fights.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised there aren't more also, but I'm going to go ahead and see if we can get some of the audio from this fight last night.
Serious conversation going on right now.
Serious conversation.
And Garrett is hot. And now there's some serious chirping coming from the Pirates dugout. And
Why
now
so
Garrett's
serious?
on his way to the dugout, and here we go. Oh! Garrett goes in there punching. This is not a good scene at all. You can feel it brewing and brewing and brewing.
All right, I'm going to turn it down just a hair so I can talk over, but this goes on for like 4.5 minutes, so it's not just one little run up and punch. This is like a full out brawl.
And I'm not sure the umpires are going to be able to break up.
Amir Garrett, the pitcher for the Reds, comes over and just clocks a dude. It was beautiful. The manager of the Reds, David Bell, had actually already been thrown out of the game. He comes out from being thrown out and starts attacking the manager from the Pirates. That was beautiful. That's going on right now. Well, what happened last night. And I don't usually like to talk about the Reds on our show because, you know, it gives satisfaction to some of our listeners, but this was one of the greatest Reds moments I've ever seen in my life. And that's kind of slowing up. They're breaking it up. People are starting to chill a little bit. It's cool. Oh no, Yasiel Puig starts going berserker again. On and on and on, Chris America. This brawl ended the game. They couldn't even continue the game after this.
My favorite part, though, This wasn't like a typical pitcher-batter thing. They were sitting there having the conversation, and he runs to the Pirates' dugout. He runs into the Lions' den and just starts swinging. He don't give an F.
No, he doesn't. He is, at that point, though, he's just pumped, man. Oh, Yasiel Puig's going after some more action. By the way, he got traded after this, Yasiel Puig.
Did he really?
Another side. Yes, he did. True story.
Wow.
Yeah, so I think he kind of knew he was on the trading block. It had been rumored for the last couple weeks, and July 31st is the trade deadline. So I think he didn't really care. The good news is he wasn't traded to the Pirates because that would have been really awkward. Getting in a big fight with the team and then all of a sudden saying, hey guys, it's me. I'm here.
Now with a lot of these brawls, they're not really brawls. It's a whole lot of just people piled on top of each other, just still clamoring. There's hardly ever any punches thrown. The majority of this video is just people holding people back.
Yep. We just got a tweet and I got a correction. David Green, thank you for this. He said that Yasiel Puig was actually traded during the game, but they never took him out. So at this point, he already knew he was traded.
Yeah,
so he
he's
didn't
like,
care.
F it.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going out with a bang. Thank you for that correction, David Green. Sometimes I need some help with my baseball knowledge. I'll be honest. I know
I'm
a little
surprised
bit.
this ended the game.
Finally, the team separated.
That's what I saw. I didn't watch it live. Well, let's see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it ended the game. David Green can correct me if I'm wrong there, but yeah, there was so many guys throwing punches, and I think it was kind of towards the end of the game anyway. I think it was ninth inning. Yeah, it's quite the adventure here. Who would have ever expected a random Reds-Pirates game to be this exciting?
Will be a hard one to sort out. They need to get Puig off this field.
Yeah, get Puig out
They
of
do.
there.
I mean, he's traded, so get him off the field. Get him on his air flight to wherever he's going. Where'd you get traded to?
He's actually going to be heading over to the Indians, and the Indians traded Trevor Bauer to the Reds. So,
That's quite the
He's
trade
diving-
story.
yeah. He can go over to
So at least
Cleveland.
I mean, how far is Cleveland from Cincy? Is it a few hours? I feel like it's a few hours.
Yeah, we'll go with that. I think it's about a few hours. And this is like the fight that never ends. Like, everybody's just out there waiting for somebody else to just start it again so that they can start wailing. That's the end of it. But, yeah, classic fight in Major League Baseball last night. I love waking up to that in the morning. Like, oh, yes, something interesting happened last night. Let me watch it. So all my prep time at the beginning, before the show, was spent watching that brawl. I'm just letting you know.
I was thinking this last night, Loudbeard. This has been a quiet sports summer, especially for football, especially when you compare it to last year. Because I think last year around this same time is when the whole Urban Meyer saga started picking up some steam and started rolling. A few summers ago, I'd say maybe 5 summers ago, was when we had the whole Deflategate debate. All summer long, did he deflate him? What should his punishment be? What's Roger Goodell going to do? And then we had the next year where it was what are the courts going to do and what should they do and yada, yada, yada. This summer, I've had nothing going on. Is that good for football or bad for football?
I think it's kind of bad for football because any news story is a good story. Even if it is a bad story, it's bringing good publicity to the league or the team. And, a lot to talk about.
And it keeps football on your brain. It makes you, want the season to start so you can get this stupid talk over with. At least that's how I feel.
Do you think Ezekiel Elliott's going to be the dumb story to start the season out, though?
I saw you posted something last night.
Yep. I got to get into this. So, apparently back in 2017, I don't know why lawsuits seem like they take forever to finally come out, but there's been a lawsuit from plaintiff Ronnie Hill, who apparently got into a car accident with Ezekiel Elliott back in 2017, 4 days before their playoff game. And he is claiming that the Cowboys conspired with the Frisco Police Department to cover up the severity of the accident to assure that Elliott's health would not be placed in question before their playoff game. Okay, so that's kind of interesting that he's saying this. The car crash occurred on January 11th, 2017, 4 days before the divisional game. Now, in this game, Ezekiel Elliott did run for 125 yards, but the Cowboys did lose to the Packers 34-31. So it really didn't matter in the end. But Hill, who is seeking $20 million in damages, that seems a little excessive, doesn't it? $20 million?
Sounds
I don't
about
know.
right.
Okay, $20 million. If Ezekiel Elliott runs into you with a car, you sue him for $20 million.
20
Maybe that's
million,
why
yeah.
maybe that's why he's holding out, because he needs to get paid to help cover up this mess. So he claims that Elliott was at fault for the crash and that it was one of those crashes where Ezekiel Elliott was late for practice and had to barrel through a red light to try to get there on time, and he ended up colliding with Mr. Hill's BMW. Okay. So it was $33,000 worth of damages between the two vehicles, and it was the type of accident that the tow truck had to pull them apart. So it's a pretty severe accident.
So 33,000 rounded up to about 20 million. Sounds about right.
Yeah, that. Maybe there's been a lot of anguish over this whole situation. Maybe he's suing. The rest of it is based off of suffering and anguish that he's had to do. So it says that the running backs coach, Gary Brown, for the Cowboys, quickly arrived to the scene of the crash and told the Hill that, don't worry about it, we're going to take care of everything, and quickly ushered Ezekiel Elliott out of there. And he said that if the police would have said what the crash was, that it was a major vehicle crash, that things may have been a little bit different. But they said it was just a minor crash. It's just a little fender bender. No big deal. Nothing to see here. Ezekiel Elliott should have been checked and should have been in a concussion protocol based off of what Mr. Hill is saying, and that the Cowboys covered it up and the Frisco Police Department covered it up. Now, do you think that this happened, or do you think Mr. Hill is just sensationalizing this to try to get $20 million out of Ezekiel Elliott?
Well, the other thing that we missed out on was Ezekiel Elliott under the influence of other drugs or alcohol? We'll never know because he was ushered off real fast.
Yeah, he was.
I think the police should have said, no, you have to stay while I fill out this paperwork like Mr. Hill gets to stay.
So we're getting questions also in from our Twitter machine. David Green's asking, were they on some Texas dirt roads? How in the world you hide a BMW crash and an NFL player involved? That's a good point. Usually, especially in 2017, there's typically cell phone cameras, and if Ezekiel Elliott's involved, somebody's taking a picture or has a video somewhere. You would think, right?
Maybe that guy went around and paid people to delete those videos and pictures.
That's true. They're get back guy. That's kind of what the running
Okay, let me
backs
see that
coach is
phone.
doing.
Here's 20 G's. Delete that right now in front of me.
Yeah. For 20 G's, I think I'd delete a cell phone video. I'd be
That's
all
probably
right, player.
excessive. It's probably more like 5,000 is all it would take.
I would take 5,000 too. Yes.
Yeah, of course.
I'd probably take 1,000.
I wonder how much TMZ pays for those things.
Yeah, now that you're saying it, TMZ probably would pay more than 1,000. So maybe I need to be a little. Maybe let's go back to the 5,000. 5,000's fair.
Yeah, I think TMZ would pay 5.
I agree.
Especially just for a car accident. Now, if it's Ezekiel getting out of his car and fighting Mr. Hill, then it'd probably be way up. Price would go up.
All right, so we did have 2 tweets when I put this out on social media yesterday that are all, well, more than 2, but we had a couple in here. David Green said almost definitely. So he's saying that it's true. It's true. The cover-up is true. And we also had Chandler Knight coming in saying, of course it's true. Cowboys players have had things covered up for decades. And not just them. This is a common occurrence across pro leagues with star players. So he's not saying it's just a Cowboys problem, though it's partially just a Cowboys problem. He's saying athletes, man, they get this special special privileges.
I mean, not just athletes, just anybody with money. Anybody with money gets these things taken care of for them. That's why they pay people to take care of these things for them.
It's a good point. Sometimes you get that little bit of special privilege, but it kind of, aggravates me that it's the Cowboys. I'm not a big Cowboys fan. I'm not a big Cowboys fan. Now, I guess I'll segue this into another Cowboys story that could, for a team I hate so much, I'm talking about them too much. But this came out a couple days ago before this Ezekiel Elliott crash story. But it kind of, it all kind of goes hand in hand. And this could be some heat for Ezekiel Elliott, some heat that he doesn't want over this car accident incident. But other than the fact that the Cowboys signed Alfred Morris a couple days ago, just in case as a backup plan, in case this whole Ezekiel Elliott thing doesn't work out with him holding out and being in some law trouble, Jerry Jones comes out, and I think this is a negotiation tactic. You can tell me if you think otherwise, but teams don't need a rushing champion to win a Super Bowl. He said that is not something you have to win a Super Bowl. So he himself, Jerry Jones, is trying to devalue the running back position amidst his star running back holding out. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, we kind of predicted it, right? That the holdouts are going to come. That's how we know it's NFL season. My question is, Loudbeard, are you on the owner's side or the holdout side in this case?
That's tough because I don't like Jerry Jones. I don't like the Cowboys organization, but I really, really, really don't like Ezekiel Elliott. So,
I mean, he's got a $20 million lawsuit coming, so that might also be helping out with this holdout. Like, man, I got to get a bigger contract so I could pay this $20 million.
Oh, this thing's going to settle for like $1.2 million, and this dude's going to be happy no matter what. He's just trying to...
Think about how many legal fees Ezekiel Elliott's had to pay over the last, 4 years?
Well,
Guy's had a lot of legal trouble.
Yeah.
Legal trouble comes with legal fees. Always.
Yeah, a couple $100K. I mean...
I don't know, man. He's not hiring the lawyers we hire that charge $400 an hour. I can tell you that much.
That's still a lot of money.
Yeah.
I don't know. You bring up a good point there. So the ironic thing about Jerry Jones making this statement, you do realize that when the Cowboys won the championship, they did have the number one rusher. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So Emmitt Smith was one of the rushing champions to actually win a Super Bowl. There's only one other guy that's done it. Surprisingly, when a team has the rushing champion, they don't typically win the Super Bowl. So Jerry Jones has a little bit of validity to what he's saying. He's like, teams don't normally need it, even though his Cowboys did need it. His Cowboys did. Yep. But do you know who the other player was? So it was after Emmitt Smith. So from 1993, I think, when Emmitt did it and won the Super Bowl, from then to now, there was one other running back that won the rushing championship and won a Super Bowl. Putting you on the spot. Some trivia here for you.
Okay, so here are some of my first thought candidates. Work done.
Okay.
The Bus, but I think he was too old. I don't think the Bus was running back champion when they won that Super Bowl in, what was it, 05, 06?
Yep. No, he was not at that point. You're right. A little over the hill.
It's never the Patriots running backs because they definitely don't win Super Bowls off of running backs.
Nope.
And I think Corey Dillon was the last time they had a running back who probably was close enough to being a running back champion. Man, this is tough. Because none of these other teams, like you said, none of these other teams had great running backs.
All right, so I'm going to give you 2 hints.
All right.
This running back is in the Hall of Fame. And
okay, so he's already retired.
He's already retired. And he won back-to-back Super Bowls.
Terrell Davis.
Terrell Davis, TD. So Terrell Davis in, 98? And then
98, yep.
I think in 92, 93, Emmitt Smith was rushing champion. So since then, rushing champions aren't the ones that win the Super Bowl. We know that the Patriots have won a bunch of Super Bowls, and they typically have a committee running back system. And in the NFL now, committees become more of the in vogue thing. But yeah, Jerry Jones makes the point. You do not need a rushing champion to win a Super Bowl. He's kind of right, unfortunately.
He is, but that doesn't. To me, we make that the big argument for owners to say whether or not they should pay somebody. Like, are you going to get me a Super Bowl? Guess what, Jerry Jones? You haven't won a Super Bowl in almost 20 years, or over 20 years now, and you're still the most, the highest valued franchise. So clearly, it's not Super Bowls that bring you money. It's the players, and it's the city that you're in, and it's the brand. But the players make the brand. So pay the guys what they're worth, not how many Super Bowls they bring you.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Again, I'm going to put it towards him trying to just do this. And the reason he's doing it publicly is because of the negotiation. I'm sure he wants Ezekiel Elliott to be on the field. There's no owner in their right mind that wouldn't want their best player not to be on the field. Yeah, I get you don't want to shell out all the money. You got to be a little cheap. Sometimes you got to negotiate a little bit, but you got to think that Jerry Jones wants Ezekiel Elliott on the field. You got to think that, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, why wouldn't you want Ezekiel Elliott on the field?
Well, other than he's just a bad dude, but yeah.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying Jerry Jones clearly doesn't care about that part.
You mean he doesn't have a moral compass?
No, none at all.
Wow, this is breaking news right here on Scout Team Radio. Nobody has ever heard this before, and we've uncovered the real mystery about Jerry Jones, the lack of a moral compass.
Loudbeard,
Shocking.
I'm seeing an interesting trend here on Twitter. It's Mario Lopez. Good old Slater, right? Slater from Saved by the Bell. He's on every single second, third, or fourth-rate TV show hosting it, whether it's Animals or didn't he do like some shopping game hosting job? But he just has like 15 different hosting jobs of shows that you can't remember what they're called or what they are. You're just like, oh, there's Mario Lopez again, right?
Yeah. I think there's one called Pet Stars where he was like, it was American Home Videos, but with pets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so he's not making a ton of money, but he's making better money than us, and he's got lots of work.
It's true.
But he's also very expendable, right? Like, if any of these shows fired Mario Lopez, nobody's going to be like, man, I miss Mario Lopez on this Pet Star show.
Yeah, right? I would agree with that.
So should you kind of keep your thoughts on transgender and women to yourself if they're not in agreement with, like, mainstream America?
Yeah, but it seems like that's not where this is going.
No. He gave out his views, which is fine for me. I believe you can express whatever view you want. I don't have to agree with them or disagree with them. It's not going to change my mind, but that's not how America works. If you say ignorant stuff, you lose all your jobs.
And that's
true. When you're a very expendable actor / TV show host, it's not worth it. Keep your thoughts to your parties and to your friends.
I agree with that. You are correct, sir.
Mario Lopez, bonehead of the week. Not necessarily because of what you said. I mean, I don't agree with anything you said, but because you said them and now you're going to lose all your jobs for when you knew that this is the America we live in today.
It's so true. And he really peaked at Saved by the Bell. He's one of those guys that...
He did. I mean...
He peaked early.
But you know what? He's taken that and he's run with a whole bunch of work. The guy's still acting or doing show hosting jobs, so I can respect that. It's not anything major, but it's work. And it's money. More money than we make.
And I would say in Hollywood, everybody that goes out to Hollywood or everybody that wants to be a star or be an actor, nobody would say, like, I want Mario Lopez's career. But if you were given the choice, no career or Mario Lopez's career,
you take
everybody would jump over it.
Yeah, of course.
And 99% of Hollywood aren't to the level of what Mario Lopez is. You got the 1%ers who are your Robert Downey Jr.'s and your Tom Cruises and stuff. But you know how many extras and people that are on TV shows for 6 episodes and then never get gigs again?
Yep.
I mean, there's so many more of those. So when you look at Mario Lopez's career, yeah, it's on really awful shows, but the dude does work. So I'm going to give it to you. Thanks for bringing up Mario Lopez, man. That warms my heart. Except for what his his opinions are.
There are dudes at parties all the time in America that'll say, "Yeah, I was an extra in CSI. I was an extra in Law and Order. I was also a dead body in Dexter. Yeah. So what else do you want me to do? I got 10 other TV shows that I was in for 5 seconds," and they brag about it.
There you go. I'm with you. Hey, not to spin it away from this, I just got on the Google train and I wanted to look up Ezekiel Elliott's current contract just to see what he's making and see if it's worth it. He got a huge signing bonus, $16 million, but his base salary is super low, so that's why he wants more money. This lawsuit's gonna totally wipe his ass out.
What is the base salary, like $2 million?
Yeah, it goes up each year. So like this year it's 3.8 million is the base salary. You know, it's not necessarily the greatest salary for a running back. I kind of, when I'm looking at this, I'm thinking he's outperformed his contract. Like, pay the man, but he's still a DB.
Oh,
True
yeah,
story.
for sure.
All right, Chris America, I do have something special that I want to talk about when we come back. So I'm going to tease it just a little bit because I don't want to let our listeners know right now how terrible PETA is, but if they stay tuned right after a quick commercial break, they will find out the real truth about the world's most beloved organization. Hey, Kawhi, what are you laughing at, man? This isn't funny. Fantasy sports reimagined. FanDuel, that's what I'm talking about. It is more than just fantasy sports. It's the best way to watch the games, win real cash, and bring the action right to your living room. Just choose a contest, make your picks, watch, and win. And if you go to FanDuel.com/STR today, you can get a $5 deposit bonus. Once again, that's FanDuel.com/STR. Come on, man. This is not a laughing matter. If you've been listening to Scout Team Radio for a long time, you know that myself, Loudbeard, has placed a bet or two in his day. That's right, I've lost the beard bet, I lost the romper bet, but one place I don't like losing is when I bet money, and I can easily do that at MyBookie. That's right, you can go to mybookie.ag, use promo code 12OZSports, and get a 100% deposit bonus up to $1,000. Hey, guess what? That is a lot of money. Do it.
When I'm working hard, I build up a thirst for sports. That's when I grab a cold 12-ounce sports radio. Ah, 12-ounce sports radio. Quench your sports thirst. Hey everybody, it's your favorite Patriot, Chris America, and I want you to listen every single weekday, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., and on replays from 11 a.m. to noon of Scout Team Sports. Listen, George Washington did not cross over the ocean blue in 1492 to defeat the Nazis, so you can listen to the same tired national clickbait sports stories. So once again, tune in to us every single morning, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., and then we replay from 11 to noon. I will see you there, and God bless America.
Welcome back. Thank you all for listening in. We appreciate it. Once again, we're Scout Team Radio. He's Chris America. I'm Loudbeard. We bring it to you hot and live each and every morning, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m., right here on 12-Ounce Sports Radio. We also simulcast on the Full Press Radio Network, and we are a part of the Barn Burner Radio Network, so we're all over the place. If you can't catch us live, make sure you hit us up on the podcast. You can go to Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, anywhere you can find a podcast. Search Scout Team Radio, and you will find all of our daily show uploaded, and it will be something you can listen to on demand anytime you want. So make sure you check all that out. So also, we like to get social on our show. Hit us up on Twitter. We've had some hot tweets coming in. David Green's been tweeting at us this morning. So please, make sure you hit us up. If you have any topics, anything you want to talk about, if you hate something I say, make sure you tell me. At Scout Team Radio, live tweet us on the show while we are on the air. It's amazing. And always, you can always hit us up on Facebook and Instagram at Scout Team Radio too if you ever get the time. Oh, with all that being said, Chris America, I saw a story that it made me really I'm disgusted over that beautiful organization known as PETA. I know many people look up to the organization known as PETA, but I honestly am losing faith in them. I'm losing faith in them. It's really a tough time. I saw a story that PETA is really starting to strong arm Leonardo DiCaprio. And I don't like this because Leonardo DiCaprio, one of my favorite actors, he grew up on Growing Pains. He's got some of the most iconic films ever known to man, like The Beach. And he's just a great actor. Just absolute great actor. There was a movie with him and a bear, too. I think it's called The Revenant or something. Whatever that one was. But he's a great actor. Well, one of his greatest roles...
He had a small role in a small, never heard of before, like B-rated film called Titanic.
Oh yeah. What was that one about, a boat?
I think so. Something about it sank. I don't know.
Anyway,
it seemed
I like this guy.
It seemed very implausible. Like it could never happen.
Yeah. It was definitely a fairy tale or something. So this guy is getting strong-armed by PETA. I don't appreciate this. Apparently, PETA is pushing him and his director, Martin Scorsese, from The Wolf of Wall Street because the chimpanzee that starred in The Wolf of Wall Street is now working for the circus and doing circus shows. And PETA doesn't like that. They are pushing my man, Leonardo DiCaprio, to release this chimpanzee or to figure out a way to, I guess, use his power and his clout and his celebrityisms to help get this chimpanzee out of the circus. But I wanted to just point out one other little story, and that is over on a small Norwegian Arctic island, there are rotting dead carcasses of reindeer all over the island because these reindeer are starving because of changes in the environment that are hurting them. But there's not a single person from PETA over there to give any of these reindeer food. They're not giving them anything. They're not helping them out. But they're all spending their time over here strong-arming my boy Leonardo DiCaprio. So I'm doing it. This is me uncovering the real truth about PETA. They only care about Leonardo DiCaprio's chimpanzee, and they don't care about the poor dying reindeers on a Norwegian Arctic island. PETA, this is for you, my friend. You suck.
Yeah, I've always found it interesting that they don't like animals being in captivity because it's bad for them, but man, I've watched enough Animal Planet and Discovery Channel in my life to know that nature is also not kind to animals.
This is very true.
I look at a zebra just eating grass in an open field at Disney. What is it, Animal Kingdom?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, man, that zebra has never once had to run for its life with a bunch of lions bearing down on it. Never once. Did it have to worry about its little baby zebra? I don't know what they're called. Are they called ponies?
They are now.
All right. Well, a zebra pony. Never had to worry about its zebra pony being chased down and eaten. Never had to worry about it, breaking its leg and then it's getting eaten. All of that's taken care of for it. It's like telling a human, man, Loudbeard, I feel bad you live in that house in captivity with all that air conditioning and health care and food delivered to a grocery store that you can go down and purchase. You need to be out in the wild hunting like men were supposed to hunt.
Yeah, I could be living under a bridge out in the real freedom of the world, and life would be great.
Hunting
According to
squirrels
PETA.
and trash pandas and scavenging for food.
I've never eaten a trash panda, but I would assume their meat is very chewy.
Yes, probably really gamey.
It probably doesn't have a great odor either. It's not too good. So yeah, I got up on my soapbox this morning, and I'm putting a stance against PETA.
I like it.
Yep. There's another animal out there that I worry about. It's the dolphins. It's, the Los Angeles Flippers.
Yes.
I worry about them a little bit.
Mhm.
And I'm also worried about them because there seems to be a huge battle going on in training camp. And I just got an update. My sources are telling me that Ryan Fitzpatrick is still ahead of Josh Rosen in the Dolphins battle at camp right now. So Ryan Fitzpatrick, he's bringing the heat, and he may supplant and may become the starting quarterback for the Miami Dolphins. I'm starting to worry that the Dolphins may go extinct because of this news.
Ooh, sorry, I was yawning, but I'm not surprised, Loudbeard. I'm not surprised at all. Because Ryan Fitzpatrick's the man at the beginning of the season. He's going to go out there, and he's going to throw for 365 yards his first game. He'll throw for about 320 his second game. Third game, it'll be a respectable 285. And then the fourth game, 4 interceptions.
You're giving him a lot of credit. Game 4, I was thinking game like 2.5. Like he'll be leading the team in the
Isn't that what he
second
did
game.
last year, though, for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Didn't he make it to game 4 before he had the total Ryan Fitzpatrick meltdown?
He might have. You might be right.
He's coming out looking like Conor McGregor. I can't wait for Conor McGregor, Ryan Fitzpatrick to come out again.
Oh, that was one of the best post press conferences I've ever seen. I mean, the dude's funny. He's got a personality. Like, he's the type of guy that fans want to get behind because he's just out there. He doesn't mind saying what he wants to say, doing what he wants to do. He's having fun. It's just, I don't know what it is. I've never seen such a Jekyll and Hyde type player on the field, but he can look like Peyton Manning one day, and the next day he can look like Eli Manning. It's unbelievable.
The next day he's looking like that guy from the Bills. What was his name? Peterman?
Peterman.
Nathan
Peterman, yes.
I guess
Guy
he's
that
on the
threw
Raiders
5
now.
interceptions.
Isn't Nathan Peterman on the Raiders now?
I believe he is.
Yeah, John Gruden loved him so much. Let me get that Nathan Peterman guy.
Yeah. I know the Raiders signed him last year. In the offseason, it seems like a lot of players change teams and all that. I'm assuming he's still in the Raiders. I haven't really kept that closely with the Nathan Peterman career, but we're going to just assume that that's a John Gruden guy. And once you're a John Gruden guy, you're a made. You're a made man for life.
Mm-hmm. John Gruden guys are made men for life.
Yeah.
He will ride those dead horses to the ground.
Now, what part of the lead up to the NFL season do you like the most? Now, we've got the injury alerts, right? A.J. Green goes out. He's going to miss multiple games. Big name, big injury. We've got that happening. Tyreek Hill, I think, had an injury where he avoided something serious. So you got injury updates. Then you have the QB battle. So right now we've got the Ryan Fitzpatrick, Josh Rosen battle. And then you've got the guys getting in trouble with the law, the Ezekiel Elliott. And then you've got the holdouts, the Ezekiel Elliott. So do you like the law problems, the holdout, the injury, or the QB battle? Which one is your favorite, I guess, clue that the NFL season is about to start?
I'm going to go with one that you didn't mention, but it's not your fault because we don't really have it this offseason. It comes around from time to time. It's the rookie watch part of the NFL preseason. Most importantly, the rookie quarterbacks, rookie running backs, and rookie wide receiver watches, where we have these big name players that we watched in college for 2 to 3 years, just do so much great things. And then now we want to see how they're going to do in the NFL, what they're going to do in their first preseason games, how they're going to look, so we can evaluate them against NFL talent. That to me is exciting. Now, this last year, we didn't really have that in the draft, right? We had Haskins, and we had, now I can't even think of who the guy was that went number 6 with the Giants. Daniel Moore?
No.
Daniel Craig.
Jones.
Daniel Jones. There we go. Such a generic name. Nobody paid attention to Daniel Jones while he was at, Duke?
Yep.
Yeah, nobody watched
Duke.
that kid. So there's nothing really exciting to get behind this offseason as far as rookie watches go. But to me, that's
really
it. It's like last season was the perfect because we had 5 quarterbacks go in the first round, And we were all excited to see, okay, I've been talking trash about this guy. I've been pumping up this guy. Now let's see if I'm right.
Now, some of that starts heating up once preseason starts. So we might still
But even
get
in like
some of
training
that.
camps, remember they're like in training camps, they're like, oh, Baker Mayfield hit his first 10 receivers, or Josh Rosen had 5 incompletions and an interception his first 5 passes at training camp.
Now, I will say I saw out on Twitter a video that was posted of Daniel Jones throwing an absolutely awful ball, and somebody commented, "Oh, picking up right where Eli left off." I thought that was there. You go.
Yeah.
There's some rookie watch for you. I mean, that's a little intrigue. You got the old veteran Eli Manning, the Super Bowl winning quarterback, that is, we'll say past his prime, to be nice to good old Eli. And then you got the young up-and-coming rookie. It could be interesting to see how this plays out, but that's more of the QB battle than it is the
Yeah, because we don't really care about
rookie.
Daniel Jones, you know? If that was Baker Mayfield in that story, then we'd be talking.
Now, we have a tweet coming in, and I love this tweet, David Green. Thank you so much. He says, as of 13 hours ago, Gruden is loving the idea of having Peterman as his number 2 QB. Nathan Peterman's working his way up the QB depth chart right now, Chris
And
America.
Gruden
I
is
love it.
loving the idea of having him there.
Gruden loves it. I love it.
That
You
is-
love it. We all love this.
That is typical Gruden talk.
You couldn't get any more spider Y banana than that tweet right there, and that was beautiful. Thank you. I appreciate the share there, David Green. Oh, man. Speaking of John Gruden, today's National Avocado Day.
Is it really?
Avocado. Yeah.
Avocado.
Yeah. I don't know why that's a day. I haven't talked about like a special food day. You know, sometimes it's National Hot Dog Day or
We had
National
National
French
Wing Day.
Yeah, that was. We could have talked about that because wings are delicious. Now, there's 2 debates, right? There's the boneless versus the regular wings,
Bone-in.
and then there's the flats versus the drums. In the wing world, what are you? You boneless or bone-in, or are you flats or drums?
So I'm bone-in, but I can eat boneless, which is where people who are bone-in can usually do both, but people who are boneless can't do bone-in. There are people, like I've known people that just cannot eat meat off of a bone, whether it's ribs, whether it's a T-bone steak, or whether it's wings. They just can't do it, and I don't get it. It's a weird thing, but to each their own, I guess. And I used to be flats, but now I'm starting to come around on drums now, Loudbeard.
Okay. I see where you're going there. I've always been a drum guy. I always liked
Yeah.
drums. I don't dislike flats. I just prefer the drums. So I'm not
Right.
I'm not on one of those sides where like you flat people are terrible. You flat earthers. I'm
And
not
you're not
like
going
that.
to go to a restaurant and be like, I want all drums, please.
Actually, I probably would.
Would you?
Yeah, I like the drums better. If I forgot to order all drums and they came out flats, I'm not like sending it back like, oh, I can't eat
Yeah.
these flats. Like I'm eating them. I'm enjoying them. But occasionally I'm like, yeah, I just feel like the drums. Like I just like them a little bit more.
Gotcha.
I'm a bone-in guy, but I do prefer the boneless from time to time because sometimes it's a little easier. They're not as sloppy. I'm lazy. I don't feel like having to go through all that mess and clean up. I'm just like, yeah, let me go boneless. But it's not preference. It's more just me being lazy.
To me, I feel like it's easier to mess up a boneless chicken than it is a bone-in chicken. Because the meat's
That's
kind of
true.
more processed, right?
Yeah, that's very true.
But if you get, like, I think
Um,
they're called Cubby Claws at Friendly Confines, those are good boneless. I've never had bad boneless ones there, but sometimes, like, Wing House, their boneless can be a little, I don't know, chewy.
Yeah, it depends on who's making it. Some places can put together a really great boneless. Some of them they overcook them and they're like hard almost. Oh,
Yeah,
that
overcooked
is the
chicken
worst.
is the worst.
That is the worst. And the problem with chicken, and I have this trouble at home, is like all my life I think I've been freaked out because of the whole salmonella scares
Yep,
that happen.
same here.
And so then you're like, ooh, I'm gonna have to. Yeah,
Keep this on like 3 more minutes. And then
Yeah.
you do, and then you bring it off the stove or the grill, and you start cutting into it, and you realize it's dry.
It's
And
exactly
your
what
whole
it
dinner's
is.
ruined. That was me last night.
Oh, that happened to you last night? Oh,
Yep.
this is hitting a little too close to home. I
'Cause
always do that.
It was
Don't feel
boneless
bad.
too, because boneless is easier to mess up than bone in as well.
Yeah. Oh, you're so correct with that one. I can't argue with you there. That's for sure. So I do have to say that there is one of my favorite scenes from a movie. You just brought it up. Masters of the Universe, one of the greatest movies ever made on the planet. There's a scene where, the He-Man and his group, Duncan Man-at-Arms and Tila, they come back from whatever planet they're on, and they come to Earth. And they're sitting there, and they order food from, like, some restaurant, and the one young lady, she's, like, eating. She's like, how do they get this wonderful meat on this white stick? This is really good, and she's eating a rib. And the guy, Duncan Man-at-Arms, he's like, it's a rib. She's like, a rib? Ugh, this is disgusting. And it made me think of you describing those people with the boneless obsession. What? I don't get it. It's just the bone.
I wonder if it's like they feel like they're actually eating the animal at that point, where if it's not, they can disconnect their mind.
Yeah. On a side
know.
note, I
Do
watched
you like corn on
Masters
the cob or corn like not on the cob? I like corn on the cob.
I like corn on the cob. I hate it getting stuck in my teeth afterwards.
Yeah, that's true.
That drives me crazy. I'm like, oh, I got to go up and floss now. It's like stuck in there good. It's corn. That's like one of the worst feelings. I don't know what it is. So anyway, well, Chris America, we got like 5 minutes left. I had a couple other topics here we could bring up. I might as well go with a little sports topic. Anthony Davis comes out in a press conference. He says retiring without an NBA title would be one of his biggest failures. Do you think Anthony Davis will ever win an NBA title, or will he go down as being another one of those stars that is a failure for not getting a championship?
Well, see, here's where it's a little bit harder to say, because it's not really going to be completely on him anymore. It's going to be, can he get on one of those teams that have the superstar power to win a championship? Right now, I don't think he is. But I don't know what 5 years holds where he could be playing with, the frickin' Golden State Warriors, or playing with the Nets over there with Kyrie and your boy KD. Like, if KD would have stayed in Oklahoma, he probably would have never won a championship. But then he moved, something that you can't predict or foresee, back in 2012, and he did win a championship.
I like this story just because it shows what AD's all about. You can tell that championship means more to him than team. And I think that's one of the reasons why he was at, like, New Orleans, you guys are cool and you drafted me and all, but, like, peace, I'm getting out of here. So he went to L.A., and I think he was hoping that another superstar was going to join him in L.A. I think he was primed to say, okay, I'm going to have LeBron, and we're going to get a third superstar, whether it was Kawhi or KD or whoever it was. And I think he felt that was the super team that he wanted. Now, if LeBron James, like we saw that LeBron just struggled last year coming off the injury, if he comes back this season and has another flat season, and Anthony Davis is having to do all the heavy lifting with not a whole lot of supporting cast around him in L.A., I could see this relationship in L.A. turning sour quick.
Yeah, I always thought it's funny that we criticize players for quote-unquote chasing rings. Like, isn't that what you're supposed to be doing? Aren't you supposed to be wanting to win a championship? And again, in today's NBA, you don't get to just be yourself and will your team to victory. That's not how it works anymore. You need help.
Yeah, it's all about like going, hanging out with guys during the summer and saying, "Hey, next year you're a free agent. Let's pick a team together and let's go see if we can make a super team." Like, that's what the NBA has become.
LeBron James is proof that it's not who you are; it's who's around you.
Yeah, he is. He is, and I would say the one outlier on that is the one Cleveland season where they had that magical run where they were down 3-1. That could be the one exception to the rule because, to me, hey, I guess he did have Kyrie.
Kyrie and Love are still playing well.
That's okay. Okay, I'll give you that. All right, you're right. LeBron James is living proof that you have to make a super team in today's NBA. So that makes me worry about a guy like Giannis. Giannis needs another guy. I mean, Chris Middleton's a good player, but he ain't no superstar. He's not a top 10 guy. You need 2 top 10 guys and maybe a top 20 guy to be your third guy to win a championship is what you need right now in the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, Toronto kind of disproved it with Kawhi, but I think it was just one of those, the formula was right. I think Golden State was ripe for the picking to lose that championship.
Yeah, everything was coming together. Stars aligned. That was the one right there. I'll agree with you on that. Yep. Well, Chris America, it looks like we've gotten to that time. I do want to say that, like PETA, this episode is dead to me.
Or those reindeer.
Oh, man. They showed a picture of, like, the ribs sticking out of, like, a dead body. I was like, oh, this is
always
terrible.
sad, isn't it?
I'm crying. Where's PETA at now? PETA, save my reindeer. PETA, save my reindeer.
That's what we're going to do. We're not going to marry the dog. We're going to go save those reindeer.
That was a good story, too, right? That was a cute dog.
Peace.